You guys are awesome. Thank you for coming out to support this book that's dear to my heart. So I want to say, you know, to everybody that's here, that I didn't see in my plans, I never see an author in my plans. I remember my teacher in year 3 in third form said to me, "You will never pass English." And that was not because I was good at English, because I just didn't have affection for English, because I was so ingrained in my mathematics, and that's the reason I didn't pay a whole lot of attention. So she thought I was too distracted. But what I want to say is that one of the first questions I like to answer is, why Ghetto Youth Bible? So Ghetto Youth Bible was conceptualized, I think, in 2001, where I wrote a poem called Ghetto. And Ghetto is something that's key to my success. So in 2001, I penned a poem, and I want to read it verbatim. It's called Ghetto. It says, "Do you know where I'm from? I'm from a small rundown community where kids struggle for existence, where youth struggle to stay alive, where hope means everything. Am I from the ghetto? I'm from a place where parents work hard to send their kids to school, where people struggle to put a roof over their head, where there's no house, where people struggle to put food on their table, where there's no table, where people depend heavily on the government for support, where there's no government, where support comes from the dawns of the community. Am I from the ghetto? I'm from a place where education is my only salvation, where there's no education, where sports bring joy to everyone, where there's no sports, where a game means more than life, where life is a game, where support is abundant when you triumph, where loss means death, where victory is the highest point of my day. Am I from the ghetto? I'm from a place where encouragement lives, where poverty lives, where hatred lives, a place where jealousy reigns, where people are deranged. Am I from the ghetto? I'm from a place where love means everything, where peace and joy is a dream, where respect for your peers is paramount, a place where I love and you love. Why do you call it ghetto? I'm from the best place in the world, and I wouldn't give it up for anything. I'm so sorry. I'm from the world. So that's the genesis of Ghetto Youth Bible, and that's how I started it. And how I started it compounded into a video series that I did called Ghetto Youth Bible Series. I've never done Facebook Live in my life. One day I was driving and decided that I was going to talk about residual income. And this is where I labored my video, Ghetto Youth Bible, Part 1. The great late Ian Bowen catch hold of what I was doing and decide to send me an email to invite me to be on profile. So, you know, it's one of those organic things that it wasn't planned, but I'm glad that I did it, and Ian invited me on profile. So he told me he was, you know, he was coming back from sick leave. He was out for 3 months, and I was the first person that he was supposed to interview. We interviewed, he didn't get a chance to really read my narrative. He was that fresh. He just came, he said, we sat down for 15 minutes, and he got up and said, you're ready, let's go. And we walked into the studio. A great thing happened during that time. So we shoot 2 series on the same time. That's the reason why I was wearing the same suit 2 weeks in a row. So now you know. Now you know. But he called me about a week later, and he said to me, he said, Mr. Hamilton, this series is going to have a huge impact on the country. When he said that to me, I didn't really understand. I'm like, you introduced thousands of people. Why would my narrative be that different in terms of, and he said, I watched it over and over again. Can you send me some pictures of your community where you grew up? I just want to make sure that this reach as much people as possible. After these 2 videos were viewed, my social media went from 1,100 to 5,000 in 2 days. I was contacted from people that I've never heard before, parents, children, and what was the most humbling thing, that I was sitting in a hotel in Atlanta, and I got loads of messages, and the little girl said to me, I'm going to make my mom proud, just like how you make your mom proud. I'm going to stay up an extra 2 hours and study because I have an exam tomorrow. I cried. I cried because it was so profound, because that's the message that I wanted to convey. And those are the people that I wanted to reach, because the younger generation are the genesis of this. They are what we need, the catalyst for growth, the catalyst to be successful, the catalyst to lead our country in the right direction. And that's the reason why, without hesitation, Mr. Bond said, you have to write a book. And I set out immediately after. This book was easy for me to write because it's my story. It was easy for me to write because I know that people want to hear a positive message. And not only positive message that they could relate to. And that's the reason why I think that this narrative is so important. I want to mention something out of the book, which was something that changed my life. And I made a decision that, you know what, I'm just gonna watch TV and do all, and chill out. My mom went to the university every day for 3 weeks. Every day she was there. And she was just poached in a position that the dean, Mr. Morris, could see her and acknowledge her. Nothing else. Without no words or anything. She just wanted the dean to know that I'm here for my son. After that time, they made a selection. They chose 2 students. They chose a girl called Small Nems, and she was related to the warden of Taylor Hall at the time. And they chose me. They chose me. With no connections, nothing. But what I had is a mom that would accept no grants. I had one of the huge challenge that got through the university, did my first year at Mona. Went for the summer holidays back to Sav, and had the opportunity to go to Miami, the first time traveling overseas. And on the morning that I was supposed to travel, I was riding on a bike and had a horrific bike accident before I was able to embark on the plane. My kneecap was split in 2. I was taken to the hospital, the Savanna-la-mar hospital, and at the time there was no X-ray machine or anything. I was in excruciating pain. And what happened after, they sent me home and told me that I had to go to Black River the next day. So in pain, but a board supported my foot. I was in my house with limited painkiller, and that was one of the, that was another turning point in my life. I was transferred to, not transferred. My mom put me in a call. She was in the Cayman Islands. She said, get him on a bus. So we rented like 3 seats on a bus, and they took me to the university hospital where I went straight into surgery because my aunt was working at the hospital at the same time. My surgery was successful, that's what they say. I went home 3 days after. During the night, I have to acknowledge my aunt, Andrea Dean's charm that's here. I was at Charm's house at Whitehall. And during the night, I was feeling excruciating pain, and I was wondering what was going on. And I woke up midnight to see like my whole cast, it was full length, discolored. When the light was on, it was all red. Completely, my full length cast was red. And I was in excruciating pain. So they had to lift me, put me in a car, took me back to the hospital, They took the cast off the next day and found out my foot was infected. Had a second operation, trying to clean out the infection, and subsequently had 12 surgeries before I was able to leave the hospital. And I was in the hospital for 3 months. But what was a great experience to me and a show of support for my family. I remember my aunt, Andrea Dean's charm that we affectionately called her. She was at the hospital every day for that 3 months that I was in the hospital. And within a year, I was still hobbling around, but I played football. You know, I remember they gave me the opportunity, and I was still, you know, I couldn't kick with my left foot, but I was still kicking with my right foot, and I was running around, you know, playing football until in the end we play a whole lot of hall competition, you know, with Milton Hall, and we play Youth Black competition also, you know, and I was, you know, it was a very important part of my whole psyche and my whole drive, because it shows me that even against the odds, that because of my heart, because of my tenacity, because of how my mindset, and because I was born in a situation that I couldn't give up, because I was born in the ghetto that teach me that it doesn't matter what challenges you meet, you have to turn those challenges into triumph. It doesn't matter how hard the battle, you know, the victory is what I'm looking for. And that's what, you know, playing soccer was a testament, and playing football was a testament that, you know, that sometimes even against medical advice, you still could overcome. And that's what I'm about. It's about, you know, a lot of people said, why do you still do community work? You know, there's, you know, Savanna-la-mar people, them no good, them never come no better, and this and that and everything. But I'm a believer, and I will continue to believe. And there's nothing that anybody could say to me that can stop me from helping my community. I could tell you a story about a girl, a friend of mine that I took up to England when I was in England, and I was able to help a lot of people from my community to move to England. But she finished high school, and she was going to Frome Technical High School. And I remember when she asked me to sponsor her, and she said to me, you know, she was always getting into trouble, stuff, and she said to me, you know, I want to go to university, but at the time she didn't have any CHCs or anything. We talked, we had a dialogue, she came up, and I went to England recently, and she graduated with a master's degree. It said, thou shalt identify role models. And it says, choose people, not for the things that they can buy or for their accomplishments, but choose them for their accomplishments and the attitudes that they have developed. Turn to people who inspire you academically, athletically, professionally, and spiritually. Learn from situations too. So sometimes you can read and live vicariously through people. If they make the mistakes, you don't have to do the same thing. The second commandment says, thou shalt make a plan. And this is something I'm big at. The reason why I could write a book in such a short time is because I have a plan. I set the deadline. I have milestones. If I don't hit them, I know I'm behind. So that's something that's important in absolutely everything that you want to do. You know, you have you know, a lot of kids, oh yeah, I want to be a millionaire. Okay? How are you going to do that? Is it $1 million that you want to have? Or is it 2 million or 3 million? You have to have a figure that's in mind. So you have to make sure that your goals are measurable when you're making that plan. You know, that plan should have short and long-term goals. And also recalibrate those plans. Environmental changes, economical changes, it's change. And it's okay to go back and modify your plans based on the situation. So don't think that your plan is the end all. Also, write down these plans. writing them down makes them real. You can tick off the boxes, and that's something that's important. My third one says, thou shalt commit to being a lifelong learner. And a lot of people laugh at me and said, you have an alphabet soup behind your name. And then she said that to me, it's like, oh my God, I have so much letters behind me. Because I'm a sucker for exams. But it's something that's an important part of me. I always challenge myself to do better. I always challenge myself to differentiate myself from my peers. And the only way I can do that is to take every moment as a learning experience. Thou shalt embrace values over value. So it's not what you have. It's your value system that's important. And how do you define your values? It's about integrity. People want to work with you because they know they can trust you. Yep. People want to work with you because they know they can trust you. So that's extremely important. Integrity brings you a long way, especially in the corporate world. The fifth commandment said that thou shalt be the CEO of your own life. You have to make that ultimate decision. Nobody else can, because you're a lifelong learner and the opportunity presents itself. Go out and seize it. That's what being successful is about. Growth can be investment, wealth, in terms of when you get your hands on even money and some money, try to develop a saving, try to develop an investment. So a growth mindset is an important part of success. The ninth one says, thou shalt overdo it. So, like popcorn. So don't settle. Don't settle. Thou shalt overdo it. Overdo it. If you can be the best, don't settle for being the second best. That's something that I believe in. Give 150% in anything. Even if you're not in the ideal job, still give it your all. Because that could be the building block of getting a great career that you want. The last commandment, it says, thou shalt pay it forward. And thou shalt have charity as an important part of your life. And that's what the Dream to Reality Foundation is about. My community has given me a whole lot. My family has given me a whole lot. My man in high school has given me a whole lot. My friends have given me a whole lot. So, as part of my mantra, is that I have to give back to my community. That's part of me, that's a part of who I am. My Dream to Reality Foundation will be doing more in the community. If you guys are interested in being part of this, contact me. My email, info@btrfoundation.org. We need great minds to mentor kids. We need excited people to push what we're the envelope of what we're trying to do. And I'm going to close by saying, I'm a dreamer. Something that always drives me. And my dreams are always ridiculous. My dreams are always too big that it scares me. So that's the reason why I have the Dream to Reality Foundation. And I always say, if your dream don't scare you, then you're not dreaming big enough. So go out and be free.
At Thanksgiving right now, cause we're winning right now, yeah. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. Hey, watch out now, hey, I'm a walking W. Learn from the L's, turn them in a medal in a trophy and bells. Every day you see we with the pan on next film.
When the world don't play, I go hard each day. Well, I got to see the best that I can be. Oh, I need to know Let us start the show. Yes, I can. You know that I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do better. I've got better than me. I'm gonna do better. All right. I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do better. Yeah. I got better than me. It ain't got a thing to do about my ego. No, 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 no. But when I spread my wings, I'll fly just like an eagle. Ooh, I'll set off leave. Whatever the need, just to find a way. I'm focused every day. I rededicate. With each breath I take, everything I own, I'm just in my zone. And I'm gonna do better. Yes, I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do better. I've got better than me. I'm gonna do better. Yeah, I'm gonna do better. Do better. Yeah, yeah. I've got better than me.